Hello, I'm Dr. Ryan Outred, coming to you from HealthOut Fitness here in Vancouver, BC. We're bringing health and fitness together here. Keep you healthy, keep you in the game. So I noticed this week some people had challenges just controlling their hips in this direction while they're doing some of the activities at HealthOut. A common syndrome would be to have tight quads, tight hip flexors, as well as tight muscles in the back here, and weakness in the abs and the hamstrings. Now, not everybody's got that, but some people do, and you're the people that I've noticed are having trouble doing this with your hips when we're doing especially lunging activities and other activities. We're up and we're tall and extended at HealthOut. So hopefully this helps you. It's going to be about 4 minutes long, just 3 exercises. You'll need a little towel that you can roll up to about the thickness of your hand like this. Maybe just some slippery flocks. Flocks are like a type of sock. Socks and with a slippery floor, and something soft to put your knee down on. So off we go. Starting with the hip flexor stretch. Okay, so the knee is right underneath you, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. I'm going to tighten up my tummy and posteriorly, so backwardly rotate my hips like this, right? So this is anterior rotation, this is posterior rotation. So I'm tipping the hips back posteriorly, trying to work hard in my tummy muscles and feel a big stretch through this front part of my leg, right? So mainly through the front of my pelvis, but also feeling it down into my leg probably as well. If you are one of those people who feels it all in the leg, then you probably need more of this type of stretch here, where you wouldn't use your hand like that. You would just put your foot up on a ball or up against the wall behind you and still do the same movement where I'm rotating the hips back, thinking about pulling the front part of my pelvis here up towards the ceiling and flattening out the lower back. So you're gonna hold this for a minute and alternate sides and actually do it 2 to 3 times, not just the one time. So with stretches, you really have to do them a lot in order to get those improvements that you want. If you want to get improvements within a few weeks, then you need to stretch that muscle group that you're trying to get more flexible in at least 3 minutes a day. Okay, then you would switch and you do the other side. Next is the low ab coordination. I'm going to put this towel behind my lower back. Now, the towel is going to go at the lowest part of my lower back, so it's not going to be touching my pelvis, it's going to be right above my pelvis. I'm going to start with my legs nice and straight, and I'm just going to think about trying to push with my tummy muscles. I'm going to rotate my hips back. So again, that same movement you just did in the hip flexor stretch. I'm going to rotate my hips back and press into the towel. Good. So if you can do that, then the next stage would be to lift one knee up at a time, trying not to let your hips shift in weight from side to side, and keeping the pressure into the towel the exact same. So as your leg goes out, the pressure into the towel will sometimes want to decrease, and you want to keep using your tummy muscles to push into it. Next stage is to be able to pull your knees up. Now reach one leg out at a time. This is the usual starting place for most people. And so when my leg is out at this point here, my back's going to want to come off the floor. Even if you think you're pushing into that towel hard enough, you're probably not. So you're going to push just a little extra into the towel when the leg's out straight. And then lastly, the next stage is to be able to actually reach the legs out and then come in. So both legs are out to start with, and then it's just one leg's coming in. And again, you should be able to keep that same amount of pressure into this towel. The lower back's not coming off of the floor. To make the floor slippery. So if you just have a slippery floor and some woolly socks, that would do it. So you're going to pop your hips up in the air. There we go. And I've got my knees right around 90. Try not to have your feet in too close like this. You actually want the feet out a little bit so you can feel the backs of the legs working, and my glutes are working. If you're flexible enough to reach your hands behind your back, it'd be nice if you could just check and see if the mid part of your spine is tight. If it's tight and hard and kind of feels like a guitar string back there, then you got to increase the amount that you're using your tummy in the front through here. Almost create tension, like if somebody were going to poke you in the stomach, it would be hard. You'd be protected. So this is usually enough for most people to start with. And then as you get better at this, you're going to work on slowly letting the feet drag out. go to about the count of 10. And right when the legs get to their straightest point, so right about here, is when the lower back's going to tighten up too much. Right, so you want usually, and so that's when you need to work a little extra hard through the tummy right now, just to prevent that lower back from getting tight right there. And then you're just going to drag the feet in at first. Now, as you get good at this, you're probably going to need to get to the point where you can do like 10 of these in a row. And once you can do 10 of these in a row, you can probably start working towards being able to pull the heels back in as well. But it's very challenging to pull the heels back in like that and still get that nice hip extension like that without tightening through the middle part of your back. And so you really are trying to target the weakness here and the weakness here and the weakness here, and not feed into your own body's kind of tendency to use the spine to try to create extension. I hope you found that helpful. Please pass this on to others that you might think they might find it helpful too. See, hey, look, my gym cares about my health and my success. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. And once again, don't just work out, health out.